Limos and Roses is a humorous and occasionally offensive podcast. All opinions are based on the bachelors and bachelorettes being in the top 99 percentile of their respective genders with regard to their physical attributes. The Limos and Roses podcast fully supports the LGBT community. Any reference to a bachelor or bachelorette's sexual preference is merely conjecture based off of observations. In other words, no offense. And thank you for listening. Enjoy.
Welcome to the very 35th podcast of Limos and Roses. This, of course, is the La Quinta Inn, Becca Iced showing up, Dale obsessed Bachelorette, maybe gets married podcast that you all know and love. Of course, the recap podcast over all of the recap podcasts that covers season 16 of The Bachelorette. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining us. You may or may not know that this podcast started with our very own fantasy league entitled Limos and Roses. On this podcast, I am joined by my husband,
Jet,
and our buddy,
Frace,
and me. I am your host and moderator, Chelsea. Now, cheers. I just have to have a cheers because this has been a week. This has been a week. It's been a week of weeks.
It's been a week.
Week of weeks. All right. There's someone moving into a very important house in this country, chosen by people, maybe not even us, you know? And that house is very, very important. It's obviously the Bachelor Mansion. So,
we've been waiting for these election results longer than Dale and Clare have known one another.
I just took a pee a second ago that was longer than Claire and Dale have known each other.
Well, that's
Jet,
half of the
my last note of this episode is I've had bowel movements last longer than their relationship.
There we go.
To start off this episode, I'm just going to kick it off with a pop quiz.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Question number 1. How many times did Chris Harrison say the word journey in the opening of this episode?
Ooh.
Right first.
6 times.
I'm going to go with 3.
3 is correct.
Mm.
Question number 2. How old is Tayshia?
I have to go first since I got it. So I will say 33.
29.
Ooh, 28.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a big thing, like wrench to throw into the plans of all these guys who they actually got to be probably age-wise compatible with a 40-year-old, but that's cool.
That's a difference. Yeah, right? So, like, you're looking at a whole new balance with the age difference. All right. So, when it comes to how tall all of these guys are, because they're all like, I don't know, 18 feet tall, right? How tall is Tayshia?
5'7".
I'm going to go 5'5".
Ooh, 5'5" is correct, Jet.
Wow, Jet. I was hoping that she would.
Fabulous. So what's really cool about this episode, we actually have some special guests joining us. May I very, very happily introduce Omar Lopez Cepero and Ariana Rosario. They're so
Yes.
There they are. There they are.
fellow friends and Bachelor fans. They are the absolute best.
Dude, I mean, this show just got a major makeover.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very good looking Zoom.
Yeah.
We were all trying to figure out how to deal with it, and I'm thinking maybe us, the hosts, and the debaters on this show, we turn our cameras off, and we'll keep talking, and we'll just keep the camera on only then.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
Just sit there and we'll just talk.
It's just because it's all in the lighting. It's all in the lighting.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we're excited to chat some Bachelor Nation with you guys. Limos and Roses. Honestly, highlight of the show, of course, was Tayshia showing up. I mean, wow. First of all, she looked stunning.
She looked fantastic. She's so sweet and she's so genuine, and everything about her she's actually somebody that I do go, yes, I love this person. I root for her.
All right, moving on. Thanks, friends. All right, so Jet, do you have an opening montage?
Oh, we're doing a top. Oh, we're doing a montage. Okay. I can. Yeah. Let's turn this into a montage. All right.
Let's go.
Bumblebee. Is it love at first sight or is it tunnel vision? Meathead time. Tears. Apologies. Mass exodus. Finally, the Bachelorette blows up.
Hey, I really liked that montage. I could have shortened it though. Previously, Dale.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Even better.
Precisely.
Even better.
Precisely. All right. So we are told we're going to learn the truth about Claire's journey.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
We're not invested in any of these characters, so they have to off the two main characters, which we're not invested in either. And now we finally get to meet the supporting cast, like at the end of this episode.
She is quick to point out, like, guys, I knew who I wanted, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm thinking, Claire, oh my God, you're not the first person on this show to know who they wanted. Like, I bet 80% of them know who they're going to pick after night 2, but they've got to play the game. Why? Because you signed a contract. Oh, but it's love. No, it's not. It's a game show.
Well, that's the oldest excuse in the book. She keeps saying things like, I'm not going to apologize for love. And I was like, well, you can apologize for obscene behavior.
Yeah, and it's not regular love. It's a game show. You're on a game show.
Guys, we are fast forwarding way too far because
Play the
Claire
game.
has this beautiful diary moment.
Yeah, I could say something about writing in your diary.
Go for it.
You're 39.
All right, moving on.
Moving on, Chris Harrison, the hero of the show. And this show is his show.
Chris Harrison.
Chris Harrison.
Made an entrance.
Made an entrance.
I loved Chris Harrison's, like, his face when he goes to her room. I was like, oh, Chris is about to lay the smackdown.
Yeah, he doesn't like Claire. He's like, listen, lady, we're not getting any content here. We're a TV show. You're giving us garbage. The editors, producers all hate you because you're not giving us anything. You just keep going back to Dale.
She's canceled all of the rose ceremonies.
Rose
all
ceremonies,
the it's like, hello, this is the show. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Keep in mind that
Exactly.
Chris Harrison said, don't bullshit me. Not once.
We're gonna go back into our little cave now, but that was, we love Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Chris Harrison? I'm fairly certain Chris Harrison is a licensed therapist by now.
Yeah, you
You know what
are
I mean?
the biggest
A license
fan of Chris
well,
Harrison, right? Like
he might be losing his license if he's actually investigated for being a psychologist, because he did sit someone down and say, hey, sweetheart, this is between just you and me and the rest of America because the cameras are rolling right. So
You're not wrong.
license might be on the line, but yes.
He prescribes alcohol and listening, I guess.
Yeah. Look, this whole thing is crazy. Chris is having to sit her down. He's having to stop it all and say, hey, can we just end this now? Because you're not giving us any content. We're a show famous for its ability to spin anything into a narrative. They can't spin it because nothing's happening. He's like, this has to end, and I want it to end in a proposal because we haven't had a proposal on this show in 17 years. It's just annoying, dude. The girl's 40 years old. She's confusing lust with love, and I can't handle it.
she said that Dale, shows up for her like all of the other men did.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, here's an interesting thing, and so Dale reminds her of her deceased father, and he unfortunately lost his mother, and said that he sees his mother in her. So there's a whole psychological thing going on here. I think Freud talked about it, a long time ago.
Oedipal and Electra.
Yeah, and
Both the
there's
Oedipal and
something-
Electra complex.
there's something going on a psychological level, because say what you will about Claire, she's a psycho.
I mean, was anybody else as enthralled by Chris Harrison wiping a tear away?
Single tear. Single tear.
Single tear.
Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
I
No
love
doubt.
every time Chris Harrison comes up. Omar and
That's like
Ariana
its
are gonna
own.
be like,
That's like its
"We got
own little
that."
meme.
Speaking of an amazing entrance, I feel like Omar, you learned from the school of Chris Harrison because you just came in with that single tear, brother.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the boys,
still there.
oh man, they're chatting, and Chris comes in and he says those famous 3 words: no
cocktail party.
cocktail party.
Yeah.
Yeah, no cocktail party. And then he says, and Dale, we need you in the principal's office.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine what those producer meetings were like? They were like, when do you think they called Tayshia?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
At least 2
You know what I mean? Like they had to like quarantine her. They were like, this chick is nuts. We need plan B stacked.
We finally got the older Bachelorette we're looking for. That's what America wanted. And because we're thinking more mature. And then they realize, oh, wait, she's actually the nightmare because she has that old thing of, well, I'm going to be me. I don't care. The younger people are at least able to be manipulated by even producers because they're like, hey, sweetheart, if you walk out on this show, your career in this industry is over. And Claire's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm 90 years old. Like, she doesn't care. These other people are usually 24. They're like, I don't want to piss off any producers.
It became very clear as to why Claire was still single.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Desperation is an interesting look on a human.
Here's the deal.
Here's the Dale.
Nice.
He says, hey, I need to talk to you over here. And what's funny is I'm just going to carry us straight into the Dale date breakdown.
Breakdown.
She goes, oh, I found this place on my own. I think it's haunted.
In a good way.
Haunted for us. And then Jet, who's watching this episode with me, goes, was that a car? And we had to rewind. And it's right on the road.
Yeah. It literally is a La Quinta Inn.
He's uncomfortable on this one-on-one because you are a crazy human being who wants to get married, and we've dated for literally 17 hours.
Well, look at her history. Her parents got married after one date, and he's thinking, well, he goes, oh, so crazy runs in the family. Got it.
Oh, yeah, apple don't fall from the tree.
Wait, your dad was a hitchhiker too?
I have one thing to say. Dale calls Claire's father James. That's his name. His name is James. But Claire's mother's name is Lillian. But Dale says, oh, wow, James and Lily.
Harry Potter!
Harry Potter! I was like, wait, our parents' names are James and Lily, according to Dale?
Yeah.
James and Lily!
Oh, yeah. First thing she said to me, she was like, Harry Potter?
Exactly. So we can go right back into the Dale date where they drop a 4-letter word to each other. Go to text.
I feel like I should have a joke there, but I guess the word is love that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's actually lust. Yes,
she basically insists that he tell her he loves her, and he spins it in a very interesting way. I've never heard someone say. Let me just read. I have a quote here. I'm falling in love with you through this process.
Yeah.
Least romantic way to say I'm falling in love with you ever. I'm falling in love with you too in this scenario at this time.
What's the other thing?
What are we talking about?
Jet, what was the other thing that we always said? It was similar to that. It's like this backhanded way of saying, like, I like you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, I could see falling in love with you too. All you have to do is casually just go, I could see myself falling in love with you totally.
Yeah, I could also see myself like losing my leg in quicksand.
I could see myself skydiving tomorrow, but it's not likely.
Yeah.
Well, if you're on The Bachelorette, it is likely.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, no, I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going without a parachute if I'm on that show.
So Chris and Bree from Listen to Your Heart show up.
Here's the thing about Chris and Bree. I think that they have a lovely song that they sang. They sounded great. They were more enjoyable to watch than, I don't know, about an hour and 28 minutes of this whole episode.
Yeah.
They sounded great.
Yeah, they sounded great.
But it was extremely creepy.
Here's
they
the
were
thing.
literally staring right at the couple the entire time they were singing. Like, you're supposed to kind of like look into your own world. They were staring at the couple. It was like basically like having a fantasy suite underscored live.
They stay together overnight, non-fantasy suite, and they bang. And here is the main thing that struck me, is the camera angle on the floor in Claire's room, and you see his clothes and her crumpled up dress, and then it pans up, and then the camera switches, and all I could think was, we should jump in bed with Frace's fashion corner.
Oh my gosh, what a perfect segue. I'm so excited to be back in the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be in the corner for at least, I don't know, the next 3 minutes, and we're going to talk fashion. Because if there's one thing that we can rely on, it's me talking about fashion. Let all of your worries go away about all the things that are going on in the world, and join me in this beautiful corner where we only talk about fashion. Okay, so when did it become tank top time at the La Quinta for all the guys? What is it, tank top time? I guess if you have the guns, you show them off. But you know,
No,
like
you only change when you have like a date, and they haven't had one of those.
Oh, that's right. So they're in their loungewear, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris Harrison in blue, it's classic, it's relaxed, and it's calming. It's a calming color when you're having a therapy session with a crazy bachelorette. Now, this is not a pageant, Claire. Your red dress, I'm not into this red dress. It's tacky AF. I think that's the word for it, tacky. Okay, so like that's her date with Dale. And then it winds up on the floor, which is a better place to put that dress. There's a white romper that she is wearing post-coitus that is really nice. It's super cute. It's an adorable look. She should have just had that on from the get-go because she knew she was going to wind up in bed with this guy anyways. There's also a fantastic white sweater top that she's wearing. She's also wearing stackable necklaces, which are very chic. And of course, tight jeans. She's got a great body. She's rocking it. I mean, the plastic surgeon did a great job on her. Do not like the white dress. Okay, the white dress where she's about to get, I guess, married or engaged rather. I'm sorry, I don't want to jump the gun. You know, the gun.
It's a wedding dress.
It's a wedding dress, but it's a terrible wedding dress in my opinion. The slit up the side is the best thing that's going along with this dress. And I hate the back. Did anybody catch the back? It's awful, like a plunging back that's like not doing her any justice. By the way, the back of Tayshia's dress, get out of town.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. By the way, Chad and Brad is what I call them. They're not Chad, they're not Brad. I don't even know their names, but they have a moment at the pool where they're both wearing literally the exact same look. They both have on a gray tank top. And then they have on these like salmon colored short shorts and they are breaking out. It's like a Midtown uniform meets the swim trunks. Okay, so Zach C, you're about to get kicked off this show and you're showing up with a fucking suit and tennis shoes, and not like the dress tennis shoes. You've got on these high top white sneakers that are not doing you any justice, good sir. You might as well take those shoes back into the limo and go back home. Okay, I love Chris Harrison's look, obviously. Every single episode I love Chris Harrison's look. He just like let the fashion journey continue with Chris Harrison. That's all I have to say. Get me the fuck out of this corner.
Too sick for this song.
The sneakers. We both looked at each other and we were like, did he just really wear those sneakers?
Dale was probably, not to recycle a term you just used because I love it so much, but I'm just going to read my note as it is. He was having that post-coitus regret thing that some dudes have. And she's badgering him with questions about the future. And that's like the least attractive. He's just like, what is happening right now?
If she is going to color in all of her brows, like you can look at my brows and how I don't do anything to them.
Clearly. You know that I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I said, ladies, please stop doing that. Don't get a tattoo eyebrow. Don't paint it in. Like,
I'm going to throw this to a really wonderful brow expert, Ariana Rosario. I'm just going to ask her.
She's got fantastic brows. Yeah.
I've got to know because first off, homegirl's brows always on point. Secondly, she's an esthetician licensed. So she knows.
Also, just real quick before she comes in there, one of your pop quiz questions should be how to spell esthetician, because that's just impressive for you to drop that out of nowhere. Anyway, let's go.
think whatever a woman wants to do with her beauty is up to her, right? We can start by at least saying that.
Fair. Yes.
Personally, I mean, I fill mine in slightly, but not to look crazy. If you're gonna fill something in, then you just, I mean, we had a show today, so like obviously like I'm gonna put on a little bit more makeup than normal, but for the most part, a brow gel is good, ladies. That's all you need. Get those hairs be clear. That's all you need to do.
I'm glad we're in agreement because what I'm talking about is clown makeup.
Yeah, a Sharpie.
If you want to darken your brows or anything like that, you can always dye them. Dye them a reasonable color, and then you don't have to worry about having to sit there and filling them in, but they still look like your eyebrows.
This is so wonderful that you are on this Zoom right now because I didn't have the words for it, and the word is dye. Just dye them.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say just die, Claire.
No. We've talked about that. Listen, I've already said
the eyebrows. You took it to a dark place.
Oh,
you took it to a dark place.
Okay, all right.
18 hours later, back at the ranch.
Who am I hiding from? I'm doing this. I'm doing a wink, and I'm going, like I'm not hiding from anyone. There's nobody over here.
From the cat.
So, Omariana, they both have to leave to go to a beautiful dinner with their family. So, any thoughts, you guys, for the remainder of the episode?
When he gets told he has to propose.
Yes.
I have to give credit to like to the producers, the editors, the way they zoom in on his face, and he's like literally fear in his eyes. He's like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like I love winning, but I didn't think I was gonna win in week 1, and all of a sudden have to propose in week 1.
Yeah.
So he was terrified.
He looked terrified.
It was cracking up too when they cut to them at like post show where they're like
we've been 4 days
4 days together. I was like 4 days.
4 days.
I was like, okay, so you got
she's crazy.
Awesome. I said the best part of this episode by far was Tayshia
showing up.
Yes.
I mean, look, I think we all had discussed that we wish that she would have been in the Bachelorette to begin with.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Talk about a classy gal who is smart, intelligent,
Good people.
like, just good people, and like talk about a tough situation to be thrown into. But she was just like, okay, I'm open, I'm game, and how Claire's like, I'm open. No, dude, you're nuts.
Thank you, Omariana, for joining us for this little Zoom cast and podcast.
We love you guys.
Yes.
So we're back at the ranch, and the guys think, in my opinion, a little too highly of Claire.
Yeah.
I could not agree more, but I'm saying like these poor saps are actually in an amazing position to dodge the Claire bullet at this time. Now, they are way too kind to her. I haven't the faintest clue, is like the nicest guy that's ever been on camera. He's like, I only wish the best for you. He's saying all the right things. And then graphic T guy is just like, nah, f that. You should apologize.
But I appreciate both.
It kind of showed the guys that are more used to rejection. Certain guys were combative or more like needed answers, needed an apology. And certain guys who I felt looks wise or whatever, for whatever reason, they are more accustomed to rejection. They immediately went to nice guy mode. Maybe it's just their character, but I think it might have something to do with past relationships and how you deal with rejection.
All right, so Chris Harrison visits Claire.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, you know what? That time with Dale, I needed it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Go to text.
We know what she needed.
And she said it was better than expected. And I'm like, what does that even mean? First of all, I thought he was perfect. So how do you exceed the expectations of perfection? Forget the sex. I get the jokes of all the sex being good. But how, if you were so inundated and infatuated and in love with this person, how could it be even better than you expected? Stop. Her hyperbole is its own hyperbole. It's ridiculous. What?
Yeah, Chris Harrison shows up and he goes, so the way the game show works, because you're accustomed to this, you've played the game 17 times prior. But in case you forgot, Claire, now you have to get engaged because that's how it works. And also, I've got Neil Lane on speed dial, so let's go.
So at this point, Claire says, what I came here for, I think I found it. And it's Dale. Oh, what a treasure. So back at the ranch, the boys accept her apology.
The one dude who got all dramatic with the beard, who had to give her the psychology date, he was like extremely awesome.
Yeah. Like, I wish you didn't take me on a one-on-one date where I had to divulge all of my deepest, darkest secrets and fears about what everyone else in the world thinks of me. Before, like, when you already knew who you were going to marry. Wait. We missed my favorite quote of the entire episode. Origami Joe says, before yesterday, how many hours did she spend with him, with Dale? 2 hours? And you go,
that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Origami Joe is the only one who uses the power of math and deductive reasoning to basically come to the conclusion that it's bat crazy.
She's begging guys to love her. And all I'm thinking is maybe she and Colton should be together. They could beg each other to love each other constantly.
Yeah, you're right.
Moving on, there is a beautiful wedding dress change that is interesting, where Claire drops a double journey. What?
Double journey. Yeah.
Can you drop us a double journey right now, Kat?
I probably will, and I don't even know how it's going to go, but it's going to go something like this. I'll figure it out in post. After the double journey, she says, why is falling in love so hard? Falling in love is the thing that's so easy, you're trying not to do it. Finding love is what's hard. She's out of her mind. This woman doesn't know shit. And by the way, this is something that I thought of because of this show. I can't imagine ever proposing to someone that I've never had a fight with. Because you've got to know how you deal with adversity and conflict in a relationship. And if you don't, if you were to like, oh, we're going to get married, we've never had a fight, can you believe it? I'd be like, that's not good. Because you're going to have one day.
Strap in, because you're about to have one.
Yeah.
There are two people that are like, I don't know if I can ever think about dating someone that isn't Claire. And it's Blake Moynes and Jason.
You think they're going to leave?
I don't think they're going to leave because, like, money is time is time.
Mm-hmm.
The longer you're on the show, the more Instagram followers you have. I don't think you're going to leave. Nobody left. All of them want to be influencers. So they all stay on. They want more time. They want more followers.
I mean, good luck being an influencer as a man. I'll be the first to say that. I don't care how attractive
There's
you
no
are.
way
Good
you're
luck.
Be an influencer.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound like you're over 40.
Dude, I'm not saying, I'm saying it's an uphill battle. That's all I'm saying. Are we at back to Claire yet? Because this is.
Oh yeah, she got engaged.
Talk about Kenny. I just feel like. All right, it's fine.
Who?
Who?
Kenny, the boy band manager. He's the star of the episode, and you guys haven't said anything about him.
He was, because we know we're going to get more of it. Yes, he actually was well spoken. He's very patriotic. I know that. This man bleeds red, white, and blue, and like when he bleeds, it probably is literally bleeding through his red, white, and blue shoulder or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But yeah, he had the good stuff to say. I think that the producers and editors and everybody involved has been struggling with this season, and they're doing an okay job. If we didn't have a podcast, I don't know that I would have watched any of this shit. So I don't know.
Agreed. So we move on because there's a proposal that's happening. Spoiler alert, there's a proposal because like there had to be a proposal. So
I thought we were past that. They got engaged.
Finally, we can move on. And when he did propose, what'd she say? She goes, oh my God, I guess his last name is Moss. And let's take ourselves back to Spanish 101 here. You're going to appreciate this one, Frace. She called herself Claire Moss. And I was like, I'd prefer Claire Manos. We could use a little less of Claire this season.
No más Claire. No más. Manos.
Get out, please. Get out. Ugh. And Dale gets the rose. Cha-ching.
Oh yeah, Dale got the rose.
He got the rose. And
fine. He actually deserves it because he's up, dude. I think the rose may if he puts it in the freezer it's definitely gonna last longer than the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay,
If he
so
keeps it out-
I'm not gonna make the joke about her putting her eggs in the freezer because that's the next conversation they're about to have.
Ooh, oh boy, oh no.
So Dale says the Becca quote, and I don't even have ice in my glass. But he says, "Let's do the damn thing."
Oh yeah, I was
he
impressed.
said, let's do the damn
Which
thing.
was the
Let's do the damn
first
thing.
podcast Bachelorette we had.
Mhm.
Years.
Mhm.
It's officially announced at this point in the episode that Tayshia is the new Bachelorette.
And all these guys, all these hyenas,
Yeah.
are sitting around cackling.
Mhm.
And then Chris Harrison comes in and he goes, "Don't worry, we got another gazelle." They've been alone, quarantined, not getting any attention from the one female that's there.
Yeah,
I mean, these guys are probably it's like they're like in prison right now.
I think that what's happening, so you know how they kind of let us at the end there, they show you what's happening. And there's another little cliffhanger of him saying to Tayshia, so it's about to get weird. Obviously. He does that again to Tayshia.
I think they're gonna bring in more guys.
More guys who specifically said they wanted Tayshia. But what
Yes.
happened is the second they quarantined Tayshia, they contacted the people who had Tayshia as number one on their list, the John Paul Joneses of the world, but he won't be on there, obviously, because he already had his chance. But the people who loved Tayshia, who put Tayshia as number one on their list whenever they do their stupid Bachelor forms, that's who they're bringing in. And when they said, Tayshia, you're coming to be the Bachelorette, they told those guys, do you want to be on The Bachelor? You're going to have to quarantine. And they did the same exact time frame of quarantining. So, yes.
Although how great of television would be if like John Paul Jones and her are like friends and he comes on the show to like talk reason into Tayshia when she starts to fall in love. You know what I mean?
Do not do that. That won't happen. But dude.
We don't have anything else to say, right? There's nothing else to say.
No, I literally have nothing. My last note is Origami Joe and Homeboy got oddly physical after the news of the new Bachelorette.
That's right.
Oh, I wrote that down too. I said Homeboy put his hand on the dude's lap.
And then Origami Joe was almost like, no, get away. And then he went, oh, it's you. And then he grabbed his leg. And I was like, what is happening right now?
I'll tell you what's happening. They're securing their spot on Paradise.
Hold on. I'm going to wipe away a single tear as I announce this has been
Jets
and Frace.
And Chelsea, leaving you with these parting hashtags. Hashtag show up. Hashtag proposal. Hashtag Dale obsessed. Hashtag boobs. Hashtag Zoomcast. Hashtag boy band manager. Hashtag pop quiz. Hashtag Origami Joe. Hashtag La Quinta. Hashtag make a salad. Hashtag romaine. Hashtag just romaine. Hashtag Clare and Dale. Hashtag Tayshia time.
Yeah.
We're all here for the right reasons. Bye,
yeah. Wait, how long is this episode, do we think? Like 22 minutes? Something like that? 30 minutes? I hope it's that short.
It's going to be about as long as Clare and Dale last.
I think even little John will drink to that.
Hey-o!
Everybody!